Have you ever noticed yourself while studying or working, getting completely involved in it? Everything feels really smooth, like your brain has gone on autopilot, or like a musician getting lost in their music, or an athlete while training. If you've ever experienced something like this, then congrats, you've just gone through the flow state. In this video, you will learn about what the flow state is, the formula to enter the flow state, techniques to facilitate it. We will discuss them in detail. Let's start. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, a Hungarian-American psychologist, introduced the concept of flow, a mental state where you're fully absorbed in an activity, to the point where time, self-consciousness, and distractions melt away. It's like being in the zone. Think of it like a surfer riding a perfect wave. Every move is instinctive, every decision is effortless, and you're completely in sync with the moment. That's flow. And here's the best part. You can learn to tap into it anytime, anywhere. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Most people overcomplicate flow. They make it sound like some mystical, unattainable state, but I'm gonna break it down into a simple formula. 3 key ingredients you need to unlock it. Challenge plus focus plus breaks equals flow. Whenever you're working, whether it's studying, office work, or anything else, always take the task a little out of your league. You need a task that pushes you just enough to keep you on your toes. If it's too easy, you'll get bored. If it's too hard, you'll get frustrated. The sweet spot, something that's just outside your comfort zone. Everyone knows their limits. You know, how much you can handle in an hour. Just push yourself a little beyond it. If you study 10 pages, aim for 12 or 13 pages, but don't change the time limit. The time to achieve them should remain the same as usual, to keep it challenging. This is where most guys drop the ball. You can't hit flow if you're distracted. Your phone, your environment, your own wandering mind, they're all enemies of focus. Here's a rule. When it's time to work, work. No half measures, no multitasking. Just you and the task at hand. This one's counterintuitive, but it's crucial. After 45 to 60 minutes of intense focus, take a break. Not a scroll through Instagram break, a real break. Hydrate, stretch, do some push-ups, get your blood flowing. Why? Because your brain needs to reset. Now get back to work. When you're working, there are very high chances of you experiencing the flow state. But remember, if you think you'll be in the flow state for hours, that's not gonna happen. For me, while I was scripting this video, the flow lasted for about 30 minutes. Even if it only lasted for 30 minutes, those 30 minutes can be more productive than an entire day of half-hearted effort. Flow isn't something you can force. It's not like flipping a switch, but you can create the conditions that make it more likely to happen. And when it does, it's game-changing. As the saying goes, it's not about the time you put in, it's about what you put into the time. Now that you know the formula, let's talk about how to set yourself up for success, how you can create the conditions for it. First, pre-environment conditioning. Your environment matters. A cluttered space equals a cluttered mind. Before you start, clean your workspace. Remove anything that doesn't belong. You can play instrumental music, like some lo-fi beats, classical or ambient sounds, to block distractions. While scripting, I always listen to beats that trigger my brain to perform in a particular way. Obviously, for studying, you can't do that. But for creative work, it definitely works. Secondly, set a specific time block. Flow thrives on structure. Setting specific time periods for doing tasks can trigger your brain into a performance mode. For example, blocking out a time period, like between 4 to 6 p.m., where you'll be just studying and nothing else. For the whole day, you might not be productive, but during that 4 to 6 window, you'll focus on the task. In this way, you're training your brain to act in a certain way. Once you start seeing results, you can increase the frequency of the sets. Third, warm-up rituals. Athletes don't just walk onto the field and start playing. They warm up, and you should too. Spend 5 to 10 minutes reviewing what you did last time or planning your next steps. If you're writing, skim the last paragraph. If you're coding, review the last function or do some light stretching or deep breathing to get your mind and body in sync. So here's your challenge. This week, apply what you've learned. Find your challenge. Eliminate distractions, take smart breaks, and create the environment that sets you up for success. And when you hit that flow state, when you're in the zone, crushing it like a pro, let me know how it goes. Because once you've tasted that level of focus and performance, there's no going back. Until next time, keep working, keep grinding.